Reaching our 60s and beyond marks the beginning of a profound transformation. It's not just about stepping into retirement or embracing the so-called golden years. It's a time when many of us reflect deeply on our lives, reevaluate priorities, and release burdens that no longer serve us. After decades of working, raising families, and navigating life's many challenges, we often realize that habits, expectations, and mindsets we once clung to might now be holding us back. This stage presents an opportunity for personal renewal, a chance to reclaim time, energy, and emotional freedom. It's a period to truly embrace life on our own terms, unshackled from the pressures that dominated our younger years. In this video, I want to share some realizations that have brought me immense peace and contentment since stepping into my 60s. These reflections have helped me let go of unnecessary burdens, and I hope they resonate with you too, offering guidance for your own journey. 1. Stop worrying about what others think. For much of our lives, we're conditioned to seek validation from friends, family, colleagues, and even strangers. We worry about how others perceive our career choices, parenting styles, or even our appearance. But one of the most liberating lessons I've learned in my 60s is letting go of that need for approval. There was a time when I obsessed over these opinions, how I dressed, how my home looked, or how others measured my success. I even worried about trivial comments on things like my teeth, or how I spent my retirement. But eventually, I realized none of it truly mattered. Why should I live my life according to someone else's expectations? People's opinions are just that, opinions. They don't define us. More often than not, these judgments reflect the insecurities of the speaker, not any truth about us. Letting go of the need to be liked or approved of gave me an overwhelming sense of freedom. I became more comfortable in my own skin, embracing my flaws and quirks. When you stop worrying about what others think, you reclaim your authenticity. You free yourself from the exhausting cycle of people-pleasing and begin to live a life true to who you are, not who others expect you to be. 2. Limit exposure to difficult people. Another important shift I made in my 60s was choosing to limit my exposure to difficult or toxic people. Earlier in life, whether at work, in social circles, or even within family, we often feel obligated to tolerate individuals who drain our energy. We endure overly critical, controlling, or negative people because we believe we have no choice. Perhaps it's a colleague we rely on, a longtime friend, or even a family member. But as we grow older, we realize that setting boundaries is not only okay, it's essential for our well-being. After decades of dealing with challenging personalities, I've learned that we don't have to subject ourselves to negativity or disrespect. Life is too short to spend in the company of people who make us feel small or constantly drag us down. This doesn't mean cutting people off dramatically, but rather being selective with our time and energy. By distancing ourselves from toxic influences, we create space for healthier, more positive relationships. Remember, we become the average of the people we spend the most time with. Surround yourself with kind, supportive individuals, and you'll naturally feel more uplifted and content. 3. Let go of unrealistic expectations of others. For much of my life, I held on to the belief that people should meet certain expectations, whether at work, in friendships, or within my family. I expected others to behave in ways that aligned with my values and standards. When they inevitably fell short, it led to disappointment and frustration. In my 60s, I learned to let go of these unrealistic expectations. People are shaped by their own experiences, values, and limitations. We can't control how others behave, and expecting them to meet our personal standards only sets us up for disappointment. Letting go of these expectations has brought me peace. It doesn't mean tolerating bad behavior, but it does mean accepting people as they are, flaws and all. This shift has allowed me to focus more on my own happiness rather than trying to control or change others. When we release the need for others to meet our expectations, we create space for deeper, more meaningful relationships. We stop waiting for people to change and instead appreciate them for who they truly are. 4. Simplify your goals. In our younger years, many of us are driven by ambition. We set complex, long-term goals and map out detailed plans for success. I was no different. I thrived on goal setting, using vision boards and meticulous planning systems. But now, I've come to appreciate the beauty of simplicity. Instead of lofty, long-term goals, I focus on more immediate, achievable objectives that bring joy and fulfillment in the present moment. This doesn't mean abandoning personal growth. It means shifting focus to what truly matters. Rather than chasing career milestones, my goals now center around nurturing relationships, exploring hobbies, and maintaining my health. Simplifying our goals allows us to let go of constant pressure and embrace a more balanced, content way of living. 5. Stop trying to stay busy all the time. Throughout our working years, many of us develop a mindset that values constant productivity. We feel that our worth is tied to how much we accomplish in a day. But as I've entered my 60s, I've come to realize that this need to stay busy is not only exhausting but also unnecessary. Retirement offers the gift of time, an opportunity to slow down and savor life without the relentless pressure to be productive. It's okay to embrace stillness and simply be. I used to feel guilty if I wasn't filling every moment with a task or activity, but now, I find joy in quiet moments. Whether it's sipping coffee, taking a leisurely walk, or letting my mind wander, these moments are precious and rejuvenating. Of course, staying physically and mentally active is important, but it's all about balance. Some days you may feel energetic and ready to engage in projects, while other days call for rest. Listen to your own needs and honor them. The key is to find a rhythm that works for you, allowing space for both activity and relaxation. 6. Let go of past mistakes. By the time we reach our 60s, most of us carry regrets, choices we wish we'd made differently. I spent years reflecting on missed opportunities, wondering how my life might have been. But I've learned that holding on to past mistakes only weighs us down. The past cannot be changed. What truly matters is how we move forward. Forgiving ourselves is essential. Our mistakes don't define us. What defines us is how we learn and grow from them. When I let go of regrets, I found a sense of peace and freedom. Living in the present, without the shadow of the past, opens us up to new possibilities and joy. 7. Stop trying to please everyone. Many of us spend much of our lives trying to please others, often sacrificing our own happiness. But as we age, we realize that pleasing everyone is impossible and unnecessary. In my 60s, I embraced the idea of prioritizing my own happiness. This doesn't mean being selfish, but it does mean living in alignment with my values and desires. We've spent decades meeting the demands of work, family, and society. Now, it's time to focus on what brings us joy. When we let go of the need to please others, we reclaim our freedom. We make decisions based on what feels right for us, not what others expect. This shift allows us to live more authentically and enjoy the peace that comes with it. 8. Prioritize health and well-being, but with balance. As we age, our health naturally becomes a greater focus. While physical health is important, it's equally essential to nurture our mental and emotional well-being. I've adopted a holistic approach to health. It's not about rigid diets or intense workouts, but about finding balance. A daily walk, yoga, or simply spending time in nature can do wonders for both body and mind. Mental health practices, like meditation or spending time with loved ones, are just as crucial. At this stage, the goal isn't perfection but feeling good and enjoying life. Embrace the balance between staying active and allowing yourself moments of rest and indulgence. Embracing the freedom of the golden years. Life after 60 offers a profound sense of freedom. By letting go of what no longer serves us, whether it's the opinions of others, toxic relationships, or unrealistic expectations, we open ourselves to a life of simplicity, peace, and fulfillment. This stage of life is an opportunity to live with purpose and joy, focusing on what truly matters. We've earned this time, and it's ours to make the most of. So, embrace this chapter. Let go of unnecessary burdens, live authentically, and savor each moment. The golden years are about freedom, the freedom to be unapologetically you.